Hi there, it's Martin from Dartana Plants. I don't know whether you can hear me over the helicopter that's just going overhead, but lovely early autumn day here in the garden. Something that's become quite problematic for us and an awful lot of people up and down the country, particularly Woodland Trust, aren't overly happy, is the number of deer that are going around, causing quite a bit of damage to gardens and small tree plantations. We've got a very small herd, and I use the word herd loosely, of 2 or 3 Bambis, which are the sort of like the Roe Deer that we've got. They stand about that high, about 1.5 meters. The big males do anyway, or the bigger males do. And now come autumn time, we've got a couple of little Bambis, which are really lovely and really cute, but they do cause a fair bit of damage. Now the big question is, what do we do about it? Do we control them, which means basically killing them? I won't in here, but an awful lot of people are talking about that. Or do we just let them go and manage it as best we can? I do quite like them in the garden, I have to be honest, and there's something a little bit special about seeing deer running across the grass first thing in the morning. You know, it is lovely to see them. They are annoying though, because they have caused a fair bit of damage, and I will show you a little bit of that damage now. Okay, so this is one of our, I think 5 or 6 year old oak trees, and as you can see, they've stripped the bark all the way up to there, from there to there. It's all gone, all the way around, and basically it's killed the tree. They've done that to a number of trees around here, and I'll see if I can pan you around to show you. As you can see, that one there, 2 down there, 1 over there. I think they've got something against oak trees, to be honest, because these are all baby oaks. But as you'll see, and that one there, but if we go over here, oops, this is a Magnolia grandiflora baby, and look, nothing's been touched on it. Now they will also eat flowers. They've got a tendency for geraniums. They do quite like a blue geranium. They do like the occasional salvia, although I think the scent on the salvia might put them off a little bit. But this is the problem that's being caused by the deers, and so you can see why people are a little bit annoyed, because quite frankly, when you go to the time and expense of putting in trees like that, and you want them to grow and, you know, look fantastic in an area, and they've been basically killed, it is a bit of a pain. You can protect the trees and put all sorts of bits around, but to stop them eating, but quite frankly, we've got so many trees, if we had to do that, it would cost tens of thousands of pounds, so that'll be madness to do it. So we're just going to have to manage it. We can't really block them out because we've got fences and they just jump over that, and you know, we're just going to have to control them in that way. I'll show you a little bit more of the damage that they've done to a couple of rhododendrons and camellia bushes now. Right, this is a camellia hedge that we've got. As you can see, this bit's lovely. Camellia and rhododendrons all down here, and you can see what the deer have done to the leaves. This all used to be the same all the way down, and as you can see, there's a big gap there. All the rhododendron though, fortunately, there is growing back, which is nice, but you can see the, you know, damage they can do to any of these plants. I do have a really beautiful Acer here, and whilst it's been damaged by the deer, it hasn't been catastrophic. As you can see, the damage is there, but it's not all around, so the bark is fine and the tree's growing. But you can see how far they can climb up and strip the branch down. That's a good 6 foot up there, so they can, you know, cause a fair bit of damage. Anyway, that's me with regard to deer, and particularly the Roe deer. You know, your muntjats aren't going to be jumping up that high because they're only little tiny tackers. But, you know, we'll manage it and we're fine. You know, it's a bit annoying, but oh well. You know, for the joy of having a few Bambis bouncing around the garden in, you know, sort of like during the year, it's great. And we'll just deal with it. But if you're running a commercial operation, I can understand it must be very frustrating, and you know, quite frankly, you'd have to do something about it. You know, but anyway, hopefully that's been a bit useful and give you an idea of what we're having to deal with and what other people are. Anyway, signing out.